What's up, everybody? I'm going to be making a quick guide for elephants in Black Desert Online in Node War. They were not relevant for a large part of the game previously. They are going to be relevant again with the new system that's dropping on next week, May 8th, 2024's patch. So I'm going to be just running down how elephants work, what you want to use them for, where you would use them in war, things to avoid with them, things of that nature. Just real quick, it's not a super complicated process, but having a good elephant rider can make all the difference in the world in terms of what you're going to be able to do with it. All right, so you can mount an elephant in two different ways. Um, there's going to be the driver's seat, and there's going to be the back seat here. So the back seat is a position that allows you to throw spears. You just hit R on the elephant, jump up, and then it's just left click to throw the spears. In situations where HP is higher than I would say like 2K, I wouldn't worry about this very much. It was pretty relevant in the deprecation system that used to exist, where your HP would start at a certain point and go down to 2,500 as the war went on. That's no longer relevant. So primarily, what you're going to want to be looking for is you're going to want to be looking for a driver, which to get on the elephant from the front to be able to ride it, you just walk up to its head. You're just going to press your R key. It's going to put you up top. One of the most important things that will separate a good elephant rider from a bad one is going to be your ability to effectively use your skills. Now, the F skill on an elephant is 4 chop. This elephant skill will knock down players and do a good amount of damage to players that are immediately under it. It does not hit the back of the elephant's legs, though, which is where most of the convolution comes into with being an elephant rider. A little thing in BDO called mouse movement. This is something, so if you see, if I'm 4 chopping now, right, and I want to turn around because people are hitting me from behind, you gotta, thing turns like a bus. It's not very good. However, say I'm about to 4 chop and someone comes up behind me and I'm like, okay, I want to hit that guy instead. I can start my 4 chop and I can click, and that will allow you to mouse move. So you just put a mouse move on, figure out a button for it, and you can spin the elephant 360 degrees in 4 chop. So that is going to be the biggest thing when you're an elephant rider, making sure that you're able to spin quickly with your mouse movement to be able to make sure you're hitting people effectively. You can 360 the elephant. It's a little goofy, but it is the best way to use the F4 chop ability. This is going to be specifically for players. Now, the next part of elephant riding, this is very similar to horses in the game, is going to be charging. If you look at the elephant ability list here, Q is going to be a charge. This is what you're going to use to break forts down to 50% HP. Elephant charges, horse charges, none of that is effective on a fort below 50%. So you want to charge it to 50% with the elephant just by using your Q key. And you'll just do this like this. Pretty easy. You'll just press Q, you'll run into a structure, and you just spam, like hit Q over and over. Now, things to be aware of. You want to make sure that you're putting your elephant in a position where it is able to be effective while also, not dying right away, because it does require an elephant nursery to be able to make an elephant, craft. Um, and that is something that takes some time. So when you do have your elephant out, it is going to be important that you use its health as effectively as possible for that life that it has before it gets injured and needs to be brought back out. Another thing here is going to be elephant traps. The elephant traps are going to be things to watch out for. So if you have a base and you know, okay, my elephant is only going to be able to get to this base from this one angle effectively, expect that it's going to be trapped. There is not really a good way with elephant traps to counter this, really. You're just going to have to try and look at what you think you would trap in the situation that you were the person defending that base from an elephant, and try to avoid them. They're pretty large. I'm going to try and put one down on the road out here. I don't even think I went far enough. 1 second. Yeah, here we go. All right, so I'm going to throw an elephant trap down just to show what they do look like. However, just keep in mind, you do not see this as enemy players, really. You won't see this big trap on the ground here. You're just going to run over an invisible object with your elephant. They do dismount you, so be aware of that. If you step on an elephant trap on your elephant, you get dismounted. They do take a while to place as well, so try to keep that in mind if you're placing one for countering an elephant. You want to do so when you're protected. Make sure you're not wasting, because if someone came up and hit me right now, I'd get knocked out of this, and that last 30 seconds of my life would have just been wasted. So elephant traps go down. They look like this. I don't really have the ability to pop this at the moment, but this is what they look like. If someone's elephant runs over this, the elephant will get stunned and kind of stand there like wagging its head back and forth, and the rider will get thrown off of it. You want to kill the rider, then focus the elephant down. There is an argument in certain scenarios for leaving someone's elephant at low HP instead of fully killing it. If you're in a node, I don't know how it'll play out in the new system, so we'll have to see with that. But if their elephant is in a remote location and it's low HP and you can't really put it back away and take it back out again generally. So it's going to be a matter of just keeping the elephant at low HP so that you can effectively kill it on its next life when it pushes back in again. It's that at that point it extends the time that they have to wait for a better one to come back up. A couple things aside from that: elephant gear. Elephant gear can be crafted through the guild menu. It's going to be the guild crafting tab, which should be this one. There is a multitude of things to do here. Grumpy Green has a great guide for crafting this gear. I will go ahead and show that. I'll link that process in the description, as well as getting an elephant in the first place. Generally, the game will give you 3 free ones that you're able to get in Valencia City. So start with those. PA made it recently so that every elephant is outfitted with the best skills. You used to have to just roll elephants over and over again until you got the skills that you wanted. It was pretty painful. But you're going to need to get a guild house to get an elephant, which the most effective way to do that is going to be Sandgrain Bazaar. Any of the Valencia region guild houses can craft elephants. So I used to go to Sandgrain and you'll bid on them. And then I used to get this one here by Kadri pretty often. That's not the actual building, but it's in this area. It should be this one here. Taftar is a good one. There's one by Shikatu as well. But that's if you're a guild trying to get an elephant, or if you're a guild trying to make elephant gear, it's going to require a guild house. Don't waste money on any of the ones in like Heidel or Calpheon or anything. They cost way too many guild funds. The other ones are significantly cheaper and serve the same purpose. They're just a little bit more remote. That's the gist of elephant riding. You can have up to 2 spear throwers on the back of your elephant at any time. So if you're in a situation where it feels like it makes sense to have them, just keep in mind only 2 can ride it at once. And then just like a horse, most of these skills require gear of a certain type. So saddle required for the quick run, mask required for charging. So just make sure you have that gear crafted and don't get scared by taking your elephant out and not having the gear on it. If your elephant is stuck and you can't get it either through a door, if it's inside your base and it's stuck in barricades or something, you can use this flag up here on the top left of your screen, guild mount list, and you can just whistle it over just like a horse. This will cause it to go through most structures that it's stuck in or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. And then the mouse movement setting, if you just go to settings here and type in the word mouse, it's going to be this use mouse to move setting. You want to enable that and then sign it to a hotkey in the UI. Let me figure out where this one is. Let me see here, just real quick to make sure that I have the information here for you guys. I changed mine pretty recently. Auto sprint, moving sprint, back left. It's probably going to be under like miscellaneous or something. Pinging is there. If you ever need to know where to ping, that's where it's done. Interface settings, miscellaneous hotkeys. Where is the mouse to move? I've probably scrolled past it at this point, and everyone's saying, hey, what the hell? Go back, it's stupid. Let's see. It's definitely going to be in here somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. Use mouse to move, yes. Cancel navigation, show location and guild members. This is a good area to look, by the way, if you're not sure of some hotkeys that may exist in the game, because some of them are pretty useful. You can also set things like calling your ship over there, disembarking from a ship, opening your family inventory specifically. So maid butler list, pet list, things like that if you enter all that stuff. Where is the mouse to move hotkey? It's going to be the same one as your general like mouse activation hotkey. So left control should also work for it, but you can also bind it to a mouse button as well. It's probably going to be something. I recommend putting it on a mouse button because it is going to be much better for you. Yeah, so show hide cursor. That'll be the setting for it. You can also add additional ones. I think what I did on my mouse is I set a macro to make my button on my mouse operate as the control key. But if you have a mouse button that you would specifically like to use that will map that way, you can absolutely go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's a quick option here. Just remember, or quick video here rather, just traps. Make sure that you keep your elephant in safe locations. Don't go in with your elephant right away. Pay attention to when your guild needs it. Um, you want to charge down gates primarily. Elephants will shred structures up to 50% with charges, remember. So you can break gates. Forts, once you get in on a fort, you can absolutely destroy it. However, keep in mind, flame towers are elephant's kryptonite. So if the guild has flame towers up, you do not want to bring this elephant in there in range of them because it will shred your HP bar. They're pretty tanky, but once FTs are on them, they have a really bad time. I will once again, I'll link below for the guides on getting an elephant for your guild, crafting the armor for that elephant. It does require a pretty long quest line, or previously did, to get some of the armor pieces. But overall, that should be the general synopsis. Mouse to move, spin when you're using your F key. You hit F first and then spin your elephant. And then that will allow you to do that snap movement there to be able to land on people when they're hitting you. That will set you up and your guild up for success with the elephant over anyone that is not aware of that, because their elephant's going to be half dead by the time they turn around to try, like, stomp on the people that are actually hitting them. Yeah, that's everything, guys. Thanks again. If anyone has any specific questions, feel free to post in the comments, DM me, anything like that, and I will get those situated. It's been a long time since I've interfaced with an elephant as well, because they haven't been in the tier of wars that I do for 8+ months now. So if I did something or anything was wrong here, if there was a better way to do anything, feel free to comment or let me know, and I will happily amend the video or repost or anything like that with that information. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good time and good luck in your wars.